Gen Z are the new Karens, dolls. Hi, dolls. It's Cleo. I want to talk about why nobody likes Gen Z. The reason why nobody likes Gen Z is because they come across like entitled, pushy, rude, always right, argumentative, and somewhat toxic. Again, if you know my videos, you know I don't like to generalize. However, I would have to say more than half of Gen Z has a character flaw, needs a major attitude adjustment. I'm 56 years old, and I cannot deal with kids, essentially, that could be my kids, admittedly so, coming on to my page, which is a page I would have to say from anywhere from people that are 25 and up, 25 to 60, right, would be my demographic. Because I teach about beauty and how to start young, and then I go into, well, if you are a person of a certain age, how to maintain that, if you've had surgeries, how to maintain, looking young and beauties from the inside out, etc., etc. But they come onto my page, they start arguments, they think they're right about everything, and you haven't even lived. Let me guess, for the girls, you're overly emotional and going by your hormones. For the guys, you're easily offended, super mama's boys, equally as argumentative, and haven't lived. You haven't lived a month of my life in 1 year. You would be better to learn from me or don't come onto my page, because quite frankly, you have no business there. Unless you want to learn, then, to come on and argue with me, it's not the same playing level. And I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm a little bit tired of it. And it's everywhere. It's when you go into a restaurant, when you go to shop, kind of know-it-all type of vibe. And then you have the audacity to come onto my channel and talk about, well, Granny, I never raised my hand and pretended to be younger. That's not what I'm selling, okay? That's not who I am. I embrace my age. I embrace looking, really good for my age and working hard at it. And then I have a lot of experience talking about, people, places, and things, auras, chakras, meridians, relationships, health, beauty, and so on from a spiritual standpoint. I think what's happening is that all of that zhuzh has bled over into mainstream society, and you guys that are the so-called few, not all Gen Zers, some of you guys are, movers and doers, and I admire it. I admire that you guys have a work ethic that we didn't have, a lot of you, but a lot of you don't. You talk a big game and you're still living at home. I moved out when I was 19, and that was the second time. I had already been to Europe by myself, so I don't expect you to have accomplished all of that. I mean, I was, maybe a little bit ahead of my time, but that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. You get on platforms to argue with me or try to one-up me, even in the real world. I had a girl say to me, "Oh, don't try to school me." It's like, sweetheart, you came to me 5 days in a row complaining about an issue you were having. You don't have it all together, and you're not supposed to. Relax, get grandfathered into life. Learn a few things and make absolutely sure that you're not making judgment calls and then giving me a soliloquy about how you know all about people over 50 and they're this and they're that and they're talk. You don't know me. You haven't lived my life. I know that you wish you were a little further along, but you're not. And that's okay. You're not supposed to be. That's what learning and growing up means. So I just want to put that out there. I think, for the select few, it's hurting you guys to, come across as this. I don't blame you entirely. I think it's, also the parents' fault, who are, also my age, and they are enablers, right? You're learning from them the bad habits, and then they are magnified. And I really sincerely get all of that. But everything in life is a choice. And, look, I came up from a very abusive home. Do I run around doing that to people? No. I know that it's easier said than done when certain things are ingrained, but do a scan. Do inventory on your life, because the older you get, the harder it is to break off bad habits. And you are going to have to interact, get jobs, go to interact with people, places, and things. And this massive chip on your shoulder just doesn't fly. Especially in 2025, we're trying to come out of the negative. We've been in the negative since 2022 or slightly before, for many levels and layers and reasons, right? COVID and so on and so forth. But we're not there anymore. Even the politics has shifted upside down. And to use a very vintage phrase, you have to get with the program. Because I'm going to tell you something, people like me, we're just not going to tolerate it. And you have to come across us at some point in your life, whether it be at the DMV, to pay a bill, to get an apartment, to get a job, and this attitude, it comes across even when you try to mask it. It's a sense of entitlement. And I'm not telling you what to do, I never do, but I'm telling you why you might be getting a backlash, if you haven't already, because it's just an attitude that, you've been there, done that, and the adults around are looking at you like you have 8 heads. So sometimes I do these very pungent videos, very profound videos, and I just hope it resonates, because it's a shame. It doesn't need to happen, and I just think, let's move forward. If you feel, look, I have bad days too. I'm not telling you to be perfect, certainly, but an attitude is an attitude is an attitude. Do you have one? Then I would say work on it, because there's no longevity in that. There isn't. Right now, I think the world is changing rapidly, and we all, myself included, we all need to keep up. Thank you, love and light. Lots of kisses. You matter and you count. If you have questions for me, let me know. Cleo. That are master manipulators, that are looking to see what they can get from you, how they can get it from you, when they can get it from you. Sometimes we're givers, we're sponges, right? And the takers, I don't know what it is, but they have a radar for givers. And they will seek you out by asking several questions. Slowly, the manipulation will start. I'm going to use a lover, for instance. So you meet them first. We all know about love bombing, right? They get that's right, the steps. So that's step 1, down. Then they start to try to program us, right? Us givers. And the programming will start with, well, I usually do things this way. And what they're talking about doesn't serve you at all and doesn't include you at all. So